The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has a new president.
I accept with humility the responsibility that God has placed upon me and commit my whole heart and soul to the service to which I've been called. I testify that the Lord speaks to the apostles of his church and through the apostles of his church, according to the organization that has been revealed to serve us in these latter days.
President Dallin H. is the 18th president of the church. At a press conference yesterday, he announced the new first presidency. D. Todd Christofferson is the second counselor, and Henry B. Eyring is the first counselor.
I confess that this is not what I expected when I woke up this morning. But I am deeply honored by this calling and the trust that it carries. At the same time, I recognize that I'm not called to be honored, but called to serve.
The feeling of being asked, I believe under inspiration, to come and serve again in the first presidency of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints was, I can express the gratitude that I feel for the trust from the Lord and the trust that President Oaks has shown to me.
We wanted to know more about these great men stepping forward to lead a global church. Religion specialist Carole Mikita joins me. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
Busy couple days and weeks for you, sister.
Has been.
This is exciting news, and while all of these names and faces are familiar, it seems, at least to me, this leadership role always brings a more personal view and even a personal relationship to the people who fulfill these roles. So we know President Oaks as a former lawyer and judge. What do we know about President Oaks as a man, a husband, a father, a grandfather?
I had an opportunity just last week to speak with his youngest child, his daughter, Jenny Oaks Baker, and she shared with me what it has been like to watch her father and also learn some very valuable things from her father.
As a daughter, like having a father that loves his wife, loves your mother, and honors her, loved his mother and honors her and looked up to her as a strong woman and I feel like my dad raised me to be a strong woman. Honors his.
And Kristen also mentioned Brooke. When her mother passed away, President Oaks married Kristen McMain, and Kristen has stepped in, she said, to be a wonderful mother, role model, and a grandmother to so many grandchildren. So she's grateful for yet another strong woman.
Another female influence in her life. It was a lovely interview, a very personal interview. I know you can watch it on the KSL website at length, in full. I appreciated Jenny's comments to you, too, about her father's stalwart faith, that he will give his whole heart to this role, and that he's not afraid to say the unpopular thing, but that he's going to do what God wants him to do.
Yes, she so beautifully stated that she has watched him, and even when they would be driving in a car and he would be teaching her different things, he would also be speaking of faith and his testimony of Jesus Christ. So she has no doubt that he will do exactly what the Lord wants him to do.
Professionally, President Oaks is recognized and revered as a very brilliant mind.
Yes, and I had an opportunity over the last few months to talk to some of his dear friends who know of his great legal mind, and they shared with me some thoughts about that.
He was on the short list for the United States Supreme Court. People knew Dallin Oaks. He had a national profile and was widely admired on both sides of the aisle.
He was so well respected. Actually, I think it was regarded as an enormous coup that Utah's Supreme Court could bring people of his stature into the work of the court.
I think what he's doing right now may be the most significant contribution that anyone can offer to defending and supporting the Constitution, is his vision and how he's encouraging Latter-day Saints and others to pursue that.
And something else they both agreed on is that President Oaks has literally traveled the world and participated in conferences where he has addressed the idea of religious freedom. And they very much believe that this is part of his great legacy and may well continue.
It was something that struck me during President Nelson's funeral coverage and subsequent conversations about his life and legacy, that both of these men left for church service at the peak of their career, both renowned in their fields, and that's quite a sacrifice to give that up, so to speak, for I know what they would say is something greater.
Yes, both of them had passion for those careers. President Oaks has said his 3 years on the Utah Supreme Court were his favorite years practicing law. And can you imagine then to literally do 180 degrees, turn away from that, and then become a church leader and dedicate your life to that? It's amazing.
It's remarkable, it is. Carole, what is your view of this new first presidency and the potential leadership mark that they will make?
Well, I see in President Eyring someone who has been a counselor now. This is his fourth time as a counselor for a prophet, and certainly he brings the experience and the insight into that position, which I'm sure that President Oaks has grown to love and appreciate. And then we have now President Christopherson, who brings some new insight into this position as a member of the first presidency. So I think it will be most fascinating to watch. We saw so many changes happen under President Nelson. There's no way to expect anything necessarily, but they will put their own stamp moving forward on what is necessary to do for Latter-day Saints throughout the world. We tend to think here in Utah that it's very close to us, but they're looking worldwide and what needs yet to be done. So it will be fascinating to watch.
It will be. It will be. 2 lawyers too in that first presidency group. That's interesting to note. Carole, thank you.
Thank you.